Welcome to the backyard. Today I want to share one of the best ways that you can get more green for your home by simply putting more green on the ground. Just like putting a fresh coat of paint on the inside of your house, putting some fresh green grass on the outside can vastly change people's perception of your home and what they're willing to pay for it. Now I know some people will put down artificial turf or even some rock landscaping, and that's a good idea, especially in the California climate where conserving water should be a priority. I'm just here to give you a quick, easy, and affordable way to fix the lawn that you may already have or that you want to walk barefoot on. Plus, the kids are going to love it. Let's get started. Here's what you're gonna need. A pair of gloves, a measuring tape, a knife, a wheelbarrow, some chicken manure or fertilizer, a shovel, a landscaping rake, and something to turn the soil. If you don't have a gas-powered rototiller, I've got a Mattock. Looks like a pickaxe with a flat edge on one end of it. Time for the prep work, which I think is the fun part. Now, I did recently replace a good portion of the lawn because it's been around for 20 years and it has done its job. But it could be that the neighborhood dog has been doing his thing, or the bunnies have been wreaking havoc on your lawn, especially in the Conejo Valley. I've been battling it out with the bunnies ever since I put the new grass in because they can smell it from a mile away. So make sure you put a fence in afterwards to protect the work that you've done. First things first, we're gonna cut out the ugly patch. You're gonna sink your shovel down about 6 inches. Careful not to hit any irrigation, cables, pipes. Call before you dig. Thankfully, I know the layout here. This is the most time-consuming part. You're just trying to get up the old grass, and it gets a little sweaty. That's the last of it. Now that we've got all our grass up, the old grass, it's time to turn up the soil, get any roots or rocks out as well. This is where we use our Mattock. If you have a gas-powered rototiller, that's the bee's knees. Today it's sweat equity. We've broken up our soil, we've removed the rocks and the roots, we're ready to roll. If you have new irrigation or have to fix the old stuff, now is the time to do it. Next comes your soil additives. The majority of people are going to run into this issue. Their soil sticks together, clumpy, it doesn't fall apart very easily. You're going to want a 50-50 mix of compost and sand. The compost is going to add that growth, the sand gives you the drainage that you need. I'm going to use some chicken manure today because I know that it will help loosen up the topsoil that I already have. It will retain the water and it will also give that kick of nitrogen that the young roots really need. My wife hates me after I roll around in this stuff. So just trying. Not get it all over you. All right. We are going to turn that right back into the soil that we just broke up. Mix it all together. So we're going to have a really good bed of soil. We are starting to look really good. The soil is nice and dark with the mix of chicken manure and topsoil. It's nice and loose. What I'm doing now is I'm just raking it out with a landscaping rake, if you have it, or any yard rake. We're trying to get rid of the bumps. We don't want bumps in your yard. And any rocks that might be left over, raking those out as well. We've raked it out nice and level. Now, we need to tamper it down. Some people will use a roller, they'll use the same rake. You're just trying to pack it down a bit Others will actually put some water on it overnight. The main idea is you just want this soil to settle so the sod doesn't get all out of balance or wonky later on. So today I think I'm going to use my tamper, and the trick is we want to tamp it down but not too much because we still want the new roots to be able to get through. Just enough. It's time to lay your sod, the fun part. Now the most popular options are a blend of fescue and Bermuda or St. Augustine. We're going to be working with Marathon 2. It comes from right over the ridge in Oxnard. They grow it at Southland Sod. And it's a popular grass to use. I've measured out the square footage and know that their pieces are roughly 5 square feet. You can have it delivered or pick it up yourself like we did for a bit less. The trick is you want all your prep work done beforehand. You want to get it down as soon as possible. Don't leave it laying around for more than 2 to 3 days. And you want to start on a straight edge. On to the next one. Roll it out. When you get to a sprinkler head like this, or anything that gets in the way, we're going to cut a hole where the sprinkler head is. You want to get these as snug as possible, and you want to marry the joints. And if you come over here, I'll let you see what that means. Marrying the joints means getting these edges right up next to each other and pushing them together. You can see right here, it's almost drying out a bit. So that's why you're trying to get these blended together so it doesn't do that. And it's another reason why you're staggering the joints when you lay this grass down. So we've got one row right here. This is the joint, and we want to split the joint with this next piece that we just put down. We're coming to the end of the yard. It is a puzzle, and yet you want to use as much as you can and lay out as much as you can before cutting it. So we don't want weird shapes everywhere and everything. So we lay this out like that, flipping it over, taking the knife, cutting the netting and the roots from the back side. That way we still have a good piece for later on down the road. If you have some gaps, just fill it in with some grass, or maybe your scrap pieces here, and you can kind of just put them in there. If you see some joints that still have a little bit of space in them, I like to take some potting soil or chicken manure and put it right in between. Here's a good example right here. Put that soil or chicken manure right here so you're protecting the edge from getting dry. It'll work itself in, don't worry about the mess. This is the Marathon 2 seed, and I'm actually just putting a little bit on the joints. Now I've had a little bit of luck with it, but when you grow grass from a seedling, it's very difficult because you're competing against birds and squirrels and all the wildlife and weather. And that's why we went with sod. You're really purchasing yourself some time. Now comes the most critical part. The watering. 3 times a day for the first week. 2 times a day for the second week. 1 time a day for the third. Then it's back to your normal schedule. After that 3rd week, it will be ready to mow. Now, I'm not a brand guy, but I did find this stuff. It's Scott's Turf Builder. I'm sure there's Miracle Grow and other additives as well. It's fertilizer. It's highly concentrated stuff. You just sprinkle it around. Don't go too heavy in any areas because you will burn out the grass. It is super concentrated. This stuff makes a huge difference, especially if you're trying to match a pre-existing lawn. It will get green within 2 days. So the stuff is about 17, 20 bucks a bag. Well worth it. In the end, you're going to be left with a beautiful, lush green lawn. As you can see from what I've done over the last couple of weeks, without a lot of work and without a lot of money, it's really paid off. As realtors, my wife and I make these videos in the hopes that we help people enjoy their homes and realize what the full potential of what home ownership can be. So, we hope you continue to watch. Until next time.